It's been a struggle for Louisiana's Ragin Cajuns over the last 3 weeks. They've lost 9 of their last 12 after breaking into the national rankings. And it doesn't get any easier this weekend against a traditional rival. Southern Miss in the top 15 in every poll and in the RPI, and they're playing as well as anyone in the Sun Belt. The Cajuns and the Golden Eagles next on ESPN+. Welcome to Teague Field at Russo Park for a series that both teams circled on the schedule at the start of the year. 3 weeks ago, the Cajuns were where Southern Miss is now. They were in all the polls, as high as 12th in the RPI. They'll try to get back to that form against a Golden Eagle team that's been a model of consistency. 9 straight 40-win seasons, they're well on their way to number 10. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dan McDonald, along with my broadcast partner, former Cajun standout Brendan Breaux. Brendan, the Eagles were red hot early, 11-1 in the first month. They were 15-2 mid-March. A few hiccups along the way since then. Still among the class of the league, Kyle Morrison is one of the reasons.
Yeah, if the name sounds familiar to Cajuns fans, he was a starting third baseman at South Alabama last year and had 6 RBI in 1 game against UL. Transferred to Southern Miss this year and hasn't missed a beat, leading the Eagles with a .358 average, 10 homers, and 31 RBIs. He's hit safely in 27 of his last 29 games and has multi-hit games in 5 of the last 8 times that he's taken the field.
The Cajuns have been the victim of a walk-off twice in the last 3 games. The recent streak has dropped to near the bottom of the Sun Belt standings as we near the halfway point. They've struggled offensively as a team, but one guy who hasn't struggled has been Lee Amadei.
The senior from Gonzales is riding a 13-game hitting streak, and he's hitting .432 over those 13 games. He's the only Cajun above 300 right now, hitting .345 with a team-high 9 doubles and 19 RBIs. And his .472 on-base percentage is 50 points higher than anyone else on the UL roster.
It's a huge series for both teams as they hit the halfway point in the Sun Belt Conference race. Should be a fun weekend. The Cajuns and the Golden Eagles. First pitch is next on ESPN+. Stuck with us for the last 90 minutes. Had showers in the area that pushed this game back, but it finally cleared up. Still some overcast skies, but it's going to wind up being a nice night for baseball. Jose Torres gets the start for the Cajuns tonight. You see him greeting home plate umpire Brian Hale. Torres, for this year, making just his 3rd start of the year. And he'll be catching Sawyer Pruitt, the big right-hander freshman from Watson, Louisiana, out of Live Oak High School, making his 11th appearance of the year. And Brennan, in 7 of those 11 appearances, he has not given up an earned run.
Yeah, and he just poses a big challenge for the opposing lineup, and Southern Miss is going to have their hands full tonight. Big 6'9" frame. By the time he releases that fastball, it's almost coming in at about 48 feet. And he's got a changeup and a good breaking ball to mix in with that too. I mean, you see those numbers right there. He's the reason that's the reason that he's throwing on a Friday night, getting this Cajuns team off to a good start.
Last outing at James Madison struggled a little bit with control. Only went 3 innings, gave up 5 walks, 4 hits, ended up giving up 4 earned runs. Did not figure in the decision. Looking to get back on a roll tonight as he'll face this Southern Miss lineup. The Eagles hitting .275 as a team overall, .290 in conference play, and they've got some pop up and down this lineup. And Seth Smith will lead things off for the Eagles. Ranked in the top 15 in just about every major college baseball poll. 12th in the RPI. And they deserve every bit of that ranking. Big swing and a miss by the shortstop Smith. .317 on the year. 1 homer, 18 runs batted in. Ground ball hit slowly towards second base. Rigoberto Hernandez will flip it over to Amadei, and there's 1 out. And Brennan, when Sawyer Pruitt is on, when he's really got that thing moving, he's going to get a lot like that. A lot of teams are going to have trouble squaring up on him.
Yeah, and Smith being real aggressive, coming out of the gate, swinging at a first pitch fastball, trying to ambush it, and then Pruitt does a good job of running that slider in on the hands.
Joey Urban, the senior center fielder, .325 on the year, takes the first pitch, 89-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1.
And you're going to see, you know, the velocity from Pruitt. It's good. It's not great. It's going to be about 88 to 91, but it's got good downhill action. It's really deceptive, again, coming out of that big 6'8", 6'9" frame.
This one's up high. Urban, second on the team with 9 homers, also second on the team, 29 runs batted in. First 4 in the Golden Eagle lineup, all hitting at least .317. 1-1 on the inside corner. This is the 4th time these teams have played since Southern Miss joined up with the Cajuns in the expanded Sun Belt Conference. 1-2 breaking ball. Swung at and missed. Torres will have to throw to first. But Urban goes down on strikes, and they're quickly there, 2 gone.
And you could tell either Urban just didn't pick up the spin or was swinging just right out of the hand. That pitch from Sawyer Pruitt really was never a strike. I mean, that's down in the zone and kind of the 58-footer. And again, Urban looked like he was swinging right out of the hand there. But 2 up, 2 down here. Good start for Sawyer Pruitt.
Kyle Morrison, we talked about him in the pregame. Last year, he was starting third baseman for South Alabama. Fouls the first pitch away. And had at least one big game against Louisiana. One game he had 6 runs batted in. Right now leading the Golden Eagles, 358 on the year, 10 home runs, 31 runs batted in. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and quickly Pruitt's out front. No balls, 2 strikes. Drew Markle, the third baseman, will go over and take his spot in the short right field as the Cajuns put the big shift on. Just got a piece of this one, stayed alive. Morrison's been very good for this team all year long, but since conference play started, hitting .388, 4 of his home runs in 12 conference games. And the 0-2. Ground ball toward Markle in short right field. He will throw to Amade. Score it 5-3 for the putout. And it's up and down for the Golden Eagles in the first. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. Eagles nothing. Cajuns coming to bat. The Louisiana guy, sophomore left-hander Grayden Harris out of Central High School, making his 9th start of the year. All of them, 9th appearance, all of them starts. And he's been very effective all year long for this team. 5-1 record, 3.50 ERA. Opponents hitting .275 against him. And Brendan, when he's on, he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everything's going to be predicated on that fastball. Fastball going to be about 91 to 94. From time to time, he'll get a little bit on the side of it. It's going to kind of have a little bit of sinker action, but he's got a slider, a cutter, and a changeup as well that he's going to use off of that fastball. So again, if he's in the zone with that good heater and that full arsenal of pitches, it's going to pose a challenge for any lineup.
Harris had 15 starts last year, was 5-3 with a 3.39 ERA. His last start came against Old Dominion last weekend. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, just 2 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 6. Struggled against the Cajuns last year. Only went 1 2/3 innings in the start, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned. Lee Amade will lead things off for Louisiana, and he'll take a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1. Amade leading the Cajuns in hitting, .345. He's also walked 24 times, so his on-base percentage above 47%. 0-1 hit toward first base, but that's foul. And quickly Harris out front, no balls, 2 strikes.
And Amade going to be the only left-handed bat in the Cajuns lineup tonight. We got Josh Lim and Rigo Hernandez, both switch hitters, so they'll hit from the right side against the lefty Harris tonight.
Here comes the 0-2. That's up and in.
And you see with that kind of sidearm delivery that Harris has, it's going to be a little bit tougher on lefties. And so I wonder if that was a strategic move, going right-handed hitter heavy tonight for the Cajuns.
Ground ball towards second base. Morrison is there. Flips it over to Rousseau, and one gone for Louisiana in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Josh Lim, making his 9th start of the year, his 18th appearance, as you see the first ground ball out of the evening. Lim hitting 179 in limited appearances, 5 out of 28 this year. 1 homer, 9 runs batted in. Starting at the designated hitter spot tonight. (1-0). Lim's able to hold up on one that was a little bit up high. Josh Lim listed at 5'7". This one's lined to right field, hit pretty well. Higdon's going back, still going back. That is off the wall. Lim's at second with a stand-up double. And he didn't miss getting that one out of here by very much.
He might be 5'7" in the program, but in the batter's box, he's 6'5", and to hit that ball backside with that type of authority off the wall like this, I mean, that's a good shot in any ballpark, and hopefully it's a shot the Cajuns need to get their offense going here.
Lim had 1 home run already a couple of weeks ago. That was to straightaway center field against Southeastern Louisiana as Mark Collins stands in. Collins getting the start in left field tonight, his 9th start of the year. Opelousas product, swinging for the downs on that first pitch. 93 miles an hour, strike 1. This one's a little low and in. Grayden Harris, 5A All-State first team his senior year at Central High School. This one's fouled away. 16 wins his last couple of years for Central. Action all across the Sun Belt tonight, obviously, with the hour-and-a-half delay here. This is the last game to get started. We'll catch you up on those games as they become final. And at weather, it's almost a shame because these two teams, as we said in the pregame, Brendan, both of them circled this series. And you knew this one was going to be a good baseball crowd series as Collins goes after that one, but rain sort of cut the crowd down tonight. First strikeout for Harris, and now there are 2 gone.
And it's going to be pretty fastball heavy from Harris here tonight. Going to go primarily 2 changeups, going away from right-handed hitters. That's his pitch of choice, followed by that slider. But again, key to success tonight for the Cajuns offensively is if they can be on time and square up that heater.
Rigo Hernandez takes the first pitch high and away, again at 93 miles an hour. Hernandez hitting .291, 3 homers, 18 runs batted in. That one's up high, and it's 2-0. Last time these teams played a Sun Belt series here, the only other time was back in 2024. Big cut and a miss, had a breaker. Cut it back to 85, and Hernandez was looking for something else.
Yeah, I mean 2-0, he was trying to ambush and get out in front of that fastball, and you see Harris just pull the string on a really, really good one, get himself back in the count.
Lim at second base with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss again. Harris fights his way back to even up. Harris went 6 innings his last outing, had 6 strikeouts against Old Dominion. Swung at and missed. Back-to-back, or 2 strikeouts in the inning for Grayden Harris. 1 in the books here at the Teague as we're finally underway. Cajuns nothing, Golden Eagles nothing. Cajuns defense 27 errors through 33 games this year. They rank top 2 in the conference in fielding percentage as a team. There's Jose Torres getting just his 2nd start of the year behind the plate. Of course, he's been fighting a knee injury for the last several months that has really kept him sidelined, kept him off the field except for just occasional duties. But he gets the start tonight. There's a guy who's gotten a lot of starts in his career for Louisiana. Lee Amadei over at first base. No errors all season long. And he has made some plays on that side of the infield. He also happens to be the only Cajun hitting over 300 this year. Davis Gillespie, the left fielder, leads things off for Southern Miss, 317, and laces the first pitch into left field. Collins chases it down, but Gillespie, first pitch swinging, has got the first hit of the ball game for the Eagles.
And that seems to be the game plan here for the Golden Eagles. Being really aggressive on the first pitch of the at-bat. I mean, we've seen just about every hitter that comes up to the plate being aggressive on that first pitch. Gillespie's the first one, is able to cash in on that, leads off the inning here with a single.
Probably looking at some of Pruitt's numbers, 46 innings, he has walked 16 but struck out 50. That tells me he's going to throw a lot of strikes. Gillespie at first, and Matthew Russo will stand in. The first baseman hitting .286 on the year, 4 homers, 27 runs batted in. He was a dangerous guy last year, 18 home runs. 2nd on the team, also 57 runs batted in, and this is a moonshot to right field. Russo's got his 5th home run of the year. Just like that, it's 2-0. And he has done that a lot for this team over the last couple of years.
I mean, 108 miles an hour off the bat, 400 feet. I mean, as soon as he hit it, he knew exactly that he wasn't going to have to sprint around the bases. I mean, you see a fastball just belt high, and beautiful left-handed swing. Good long finish and a good pose there at the end.
Donovan LaSalle made chase toward the wall, but wasn't going to catch up with that one. First pitch swinging, ground ball off the bat of Dre Barrett, the 3rd baseman. Just the 4th home run given up by Pruitt this year. A 1 pitch. This is hit hard to center field, but almost right in the tracks. Noah Lewis makes the grab for the first out.
And the Cajuns have been really susceptible to the long ball here, really since conference has started. Since conference has started, 16 games, they've allowed 29, now 30 home runs. It's almost 2 a game. So 54 given up on the season. So I mean, it's been I'm sure a point of emphasis for Coach Sandifer and his pitching staff, who got off to a really good start.
Ben Higdon, the right fielder, fouls away the first pitch. The senior hitting .270 on the year, a couple of homers, 13 runs batted in. And quickly Pruitt out front, no balls and 2 strikes.
And good job by Pruitt getting back in the zone after giving up the homer. Can he put him away here with 2 strikes?
Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball, swung at and missed. 2nd strikeout for Sawyer Pruitt, and there are 2 gone.
Yeah, it's really the first changeup that we've seen from Sawyer Pruitt. Everything's been fastball, breaking ball. trying to get them both out of that same tunnel, and you see that breaking ball, I mean that changeup, excuse me, that just takes a pretty good right turn and leaves Higdon reaching for it.
Tucker Stockman, the freshman catcher, hitting 195 on the year. Fouls away the first pitch. Stockman, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. Breaking ball just low. The 1-1 just missed. Brian Hale calling the balls and strikes tonight. Anthony Perez at first. Hank Himonen is at second, and Matt McKendry at third. Of course, all assigned out of the Sun Belt Conference as this pitch is up high, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 is skied to center field. A lot of room for Noah Lewis. And he'll make the grab for the 3rd out. Pruitt comes back to get 3 outs, but Matthew Russo, a 2-run homer, provides the Eagles a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. 21 errors all season in 33 games. That's a .982 fielding percentage. That's first in the Sun Belt, 15th in the country. And there's a look at Kyle Morrison. Just 3 errors at second base, along with leading the team in hitting. Over at first base, that's Matthew Russo. He's only got 2 errors all year at first base, and he provided his team with the 2-0 lead with that 2-run homer in the top of this inning.
You know, and when you combine that with a 3.75 ERA as a team, that's 19th in the country. So if this team can swing it and add a little bit of run support, stats are showing you that the defense and the pitching is going to take care of the rest.
The Eagles hit 301 this year, 275. I mean, not bad, especially considering the pitching and defense that Southern Miss has had all year, but not quite to the level of offensive production as they've had last year. Of course, the Cajuns have really struggled offensively, especially since the start of conference play, just hitting .233 as a team in Sun Belt play, as Noah Lewis takes a Donovan LaSalle takes a first pitch strike from Grayden Harris. 16 pitches in the first inning. This one's grounded towards shortstop. Smith has it across to Russo, is in time to get LaSalle for the first out. Two ground ball outs and 2 strikeouts for Harris so far through the first 5 hitters. Josh Lim had the double off the wall in right field for the only hit so far for Louisiana. As Drew Markle stands in. 224 on the year. 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. And fouls this one just over the heads of our dear friends down in the Cajun Cooking Club area. He was taking aim on our production truck down the first base line. I think it crashed into the side of it.
Little wake-up call.
0-1 ground ball hit again to the shortstop. Smith on a couple of hops, throw a little low. Russo's able to dig it out, and there's 2 gone. So far, Josh Lim's been the only Cajun able to square something up against Harris.
It was really a good scouting report by Donovan LaSalle by Harris, knowing that LaSalle likes to get out in front of one and try to ambush a heater early in the at bat. Throws that changeup, rolls over to shortstop, and again with Drew Markle, just throws a fastball, tries to challenge it. Drew Markle unable to do anything other than hit that same ground ball to shortstop. Let's see if Noah Lewis here third batter up with 2 outs can get something going.
Lewis hitting .276 on the year. The 1-0 is inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. .2-0 fastballs down the heart this time. It's 2-1. 92 miles an hour, 93 on that one. And now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
And if I'm Noah Lewis, I'm going to be on time to that pitch right there. I'm going to be on time to that fastball that catches the white part of the plate. Not looking for anything marginal on the edges of the plate. I'm looking for that fastball. See, that's a good take right there by Noah Lewis. Down and away in the zone. Good pitcher's pitch by Harris. And now 3-2 here. You just got to try and win 1 pitch.
Lewis making his 20th start of the year in center field. Here comes the 3-2. Swung and missed at that one. 95 on the speed gun on that one. 3rd strikeout for Harris. Cajuns go up and down in the 2nd. We'll go to the 3rd. Golden Eagles 2, Cajuns nothing. The 8th all-time meeting between these 2 teams that rejoined each other in the Sun Belt Conference 4 years ago. Eagles have won 7 out of the last 10. Cajuns took 2 out of 3 the last time that Southern Miss came here to Teague Moorfield. Louisiana leads 19-9 in all-time games played here at the Teague. Eagles took all 3 last year. Series played over in Hattiesburg at the Pete at Pete Taylor Park. And Southern Miss out to a 2-0 lead in this one as we go to the top of the 3rd. And Ty Long, the DH, making just his 8th start of the year. Hitting .136. 3 for 22 in his plate appearances this season. Swings at a breaking ball for strike 1. And quickly, Pruitt out front, no balls and 2 strikes. Long just 1 for 4 in conference play this year. And the 0-2 didn't miss by much. Torres gave the point out to Pruitt, saying that's right where I wanted it. The 1-2 fastball, 90 miles an hour, cuts the plate at thigh high. 3rd strikeout for Pruitt, first time through the order.
And you know, just one thing the first time through, we've seen a lot of really bad swings and misses on that breaking ball. We've seen a lot of aggressiveness early in the counts by this Golden Eagles lineup on fastballs. So let's see if Coach Sandy and Sawyer Pruitt take note of that the second time through and start mixing in that breaking ball a little bit more, thinking that this Golden Eagles team is going to ambush that fastball.
The over-the-top breaking ball misses ball 1 to Seth Smith, grounded out to second base his first time. Came with the breaker again. .2-0 pitch. This is hit into right field. This is going to get down for a base hit. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Eagles, and Seth Smith is a 1-out base runner.
That's another fastball that just leaves that 1-0-2 off the bat of Seth Smith.
So Smith at first base. He leads the Eagles in stolen bases. Now that's a relative mark. He's 3 out of 4. Southern Miss has only 7 team stolen bases all year long. He goes on this one, and he is going to be a sitting duck. Smith is gunned down by Jose Torres. His second throw out of the year. And that's a popular thing with these fans here at the Teague.
And not sure if that was a hit and run right there. I mean, yeah, you see that was a hit and run. You see Seth Smith looking for contact, peeking in.
Pop up over toward the Eagle dugout. That's going to get out of play down just up into the grandstands. 1 ball and 1 strike to Joey Urban. Struck out his first time up.
And generally, you don't see, especially a shortstop, get thrown out by that much. Usually, it's a hit and run, and it looked by Seth Smith's reaction, looking in right there. There was a miscommunication somewhere.
One from Pruitt's up high with the fastball. Only 4 Southern Miss players have even attempted stolen bases this year. Smith is now 3 for 5. Urban and Higdon are both 2 out of 3. And Ty Long, who hits in the number 9 spot's 0 for 1. And that's it.
Well, when you have 47 homers as a team, I mean, you don't really have to steal that many bases.
Swung at it, missed on one down in the dirt. Torres makes the tag, and just like that, Pruitt's out of the inning. 1 hit, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Golden Eagles 2, Cajuns nothing. 2 again to DeBarge. Breaking pitch, and this is line to left field. This is deep. Going back. Put a dive in a jukebox for Kyle DeBarge. A 3-run homer here in the 8th inning. And the Cajuns lead it 3-2.
Hanging breaking ball, wind or not, a no-doubter. DeBarge gives the Ragin Cajuns the lead 3-2.
It happened to be the night we had a drone shot. And it came in really handy on that as Kyle DeBarge. 3-run homer in the 8th inning, and that was the difference in that ball game as the Cajuns won it 3-2 on the way to winning 2 out of 3 in the only other series that these teams have played since they joined up in the Sun Belt. Blaze Rodriguez leads things off for Louisiana in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2:23 on the year. Fouls the first pitch off. And Brennan, just going back to look at the box score of that game, Southern Miss jumped out to a 2-0 lead in that game in the 2nd inning. Slade Wilkes had a 2-run homer. Rather than the 1st inning, he had a 2-run homer in that inning. Boy, Slade Wilkes hit a lot of home runs during the time he was there. But that game stayed 2-0 until the 8th when DeBarge had that 3-run homer. Cajun pitching only gave up 3 hits that entire game.
Yeah, and that's such a special player, and that was a really fun team to watch. So it's so dynamic on the offensive side, and then really talented on the pitching side as well.
0-2 pitch came with the fastball right down the pipe as Rodriguez goes down. 4th strikeout for Harris.
You know, and those moments like that, and Kyle DeBarge's homer, that's what makes this rivalry so good. Year in and year out, both of these teams are very, very competitive. Southern Miss in the last 10 years has been on an absolute tear. I mean, I believe they're going for their 10th 40-win season in a row.
Jose Torres takes the first pitch, just missed ball 1 with the fastball. The senior from San Miguelito, Panama, but grew up most of his young adult life in Miami. To San Jacinto. Came to the Cajuns a couple of years ago. And quickly became, I mean, just stating the truth, the most popular Cajun among all the guys with the here at Teague Moore Field. Takes this pitch in for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And he's already made an impact in this game, throwing out that runner in Seth Smith last inning.
2-1 grounder up the middle. It's off the glove of Harris, and still able to throw out Torres. An alert play by the shortstop Smith, never giving up on it.
And Seth Smith just says right back at you. Comes back a half inning later and takes one away from Torres. Generally, when you see a ball, get it redirected off the pitcher's glove, it usually ends up in a hit. But Seth Smith on that do-or-die play, bare hands it, fires it over to first base. Big-time play for the Golden Eagle shortstop.
So 2 gone, back to the top of the order to Lee Amadei. Grounded out to second base his first time. First pitch well outside, gets away. Jose hasn't made that sprint down to first base very much this year, and you wonder with that knee injury what it might have been if he hadn't been fighting that all year long. This one's low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
And luckily, Colt Brown has done a really good job from day one, stepping in and filling that role as the primary catcher on this team. And I mean, not but 2 weeks ago was Colt Brown hitting 320, 330.
It's fouled away. Still hitting 278 with 16 runs batted in, and still tied for the team lead in doubles as Colt Brown, tied with that guy at the plate right now. Two balls and 1 strike to Amadei. This one didn't miss by much, and it's 3-1.
And Amadei has done a really good job of maturing as a hitter, understanding who he is as a hitter, and has really taken that role as the leader of this ball club.
This one misses, ball 4. That is the 25th walk that Amadei has drawn this year. Next highest Cajun is 14.
And now the next step is, can the rest of this lineup, I don't know what they have to do, if they got to rub Amadei's head, if they got to use the same bat that he's using, but kind of step up to the plate and follow suit in his approach down there at the plate.
Josh Lim doubled off the wall in right field his first time up. Throw across. Amadei still close by. He's 5 out of 7 on stolen bases this year. And that one's low and in. Louisiana as a team 59 of 81 on stolen bases this year. Golden Eagles, as we said, 7 out of 11. Fastball on the inside half at 93 that time. It's 1-1.
And usually, you'll see the backside outfielder playing a little bit more in than what would be the pull side outfielder, and that's kind of the opposite after Josh Lim's last at bat going off the wall backside. You see Ben Higdon playing just a couple steps in front of the warning track. But if Josh Lim can stay with that approach to that right center field gap, stay into that right side and not trying to do much with that fastball, there's a big hole over there with Russo holding on Amadei and Morrison shading up the middle.
But after the big breaker that time, it's 1-2. If you're just joining us, yes, we are just in the 3rd inning. A 90-minute rain delay from earlier today. It soaked Acadiana pretty well for a while. 1-2, swung and missed it, 1 down low. And Lim goes down swinging. That's the 3rd out. Okay, yeah, now y'all can come in now. That's 3 outs. 5 strikeouts for Harris. We'll go to the 4th. Still Golden Eagles 2, Cajuns nothing. Take a look at the numbers for these two teams coming into the weekend. You see the Eagles hitting at 275. Now that's not the number that you would expect from a team that's ranked as high as 10th in the country in one of the polls, but they've done a lot of it with pitching and defense. Cajuns, of course, have struggled at the plate, but there's one thing that the Eagles do well. ERA under 4 as a team. And they've also limited long balls, while the Cajuns, that's been one of their bugaboos this year, giving up the long ball to a lot of the teams that they've faced this year. Kyle Morrison grounded out to right field his last time up when Drew Markle was playing the, moved over on the shift. Sawyer Pruitt 35 pitches through the first 3 innings. So in very good shape pitch count wise, as changeup misses not by much again. 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0's up high. Morrison at 355 now. Slugging at a 678 mark. 3-0 fastball is in for call, strike 1. And Brendan, you know, he's a transfer from South Alabama. The other 8 guys, the other 7 guys in the regular defensive lineup are all returnees from last year.
And that's so huge, you know, just to build team chemistry. We see that a lot, especially in today's day and age with these mid-major programs. They become, you know, farm systems for, you know, the Power 4 schools. And guys that have good years in the mid-major systems, you know, a year or 2 before that next year, you know, you're likely to see them at Auburn. You're likely to see them at LSU. You're likely to see them at Texas Tech, whoever it may be. And so to be able to keep, you know, the bulk of your lineup from year to year, it's just, it's really impressive in today's day and age.
First pitch to Davis Gillespie is down low in the dirt. Torres able to glove that one. Gillespie singled on the first pitch of the 2nd inning and scored on Matthew Russo's following 2-run homer.
You know, and you think about it too, we see, you know, in youth sports, you know, if you have a group of kids that play together from the time that they're 4 or 5 years old till the time that they're 12, 13 years old, by the time that they get to be 10, 12 years old, those guys know how each other moves. Their chemistry is so good, and it's just like poetry in motion. If you can get that in the college game and get chemistry amongst your team, where everybody's on the same page and you know how each puzzle piece fits into their big puzzle, that's where you see teams that have really, really, really good success, not only in the regular season, but they're experienced and mature enough to know how to win in the postseason as well.
3-0 fastball is in for call, strike. Pruitt having a little trouble hitting the zone on these 2 hitters. Morrison at first with the first base on balls he gave up, and behind Gillespie 3 balls and 1 strike. Comes back with another cutter strike, and it's full up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Morrison does not have a stolen base attempt this year, so not much of a threat to run at first. Going on the pitch, though, is down low and in, ball 4. So Gillespie draws the 3-2 walk, and runners at first and second with nobody out. That's going to draw a quick visit from Taylor Sandifer, the Cajun pitching coach. Cajun head coach Matt Diggs is unavailable tonight after the Sun Belt's 2-game suspension following the issues from last week's game at James Madison. So Seth Thibodeau is the guy calling the shots tonight. Coach Diggs had a 2-game suspension, did not take part in the game at Southeastern on Wednesday, so this is the 2nd and final game. He'll be back for the rest of the series starting tomorrow. Louisiana came into today averaging just under 4,000 for the season, 3,962 on average. Will not get there tonight. The rain in the pregame pretty much dispersing the crowd some, but still a representative crowd on hand tonight at the Teague. As Matthew Russo stands in. 2-run homer in the second innings. The difference in the game right now. First pitch breaker misses inside. This was the last time Russo was at the plate. There's a no-doubter over the right field wall for the Madisonville native out of St. Paul's. Two breakers up high, and now in danger of walking the bases loaded. Three-0 pitches inside, ball 4. 3 straight walks given up by Sawyer Pruitt. And nobody out here in the 4th. Dre Barrett will stand in. The third baseman flied out to center field his first time up. 260 on the year. Breaking ball is down low.
And this is not where you want to be if you're Sawyer Pruitt and the Cajuns. You don't want to allow this type of team to score runs in bunches. With the way that they pitch it and play defense, it makes that hole just even deeper that you got to dig yourself out of. So now if you're Sawyer Pruitt, you got to try and just limit the damage as much as you can. Good pitch right there, spotting that breaking ball down and away.
Barrett with 17 runs batted in this year and a golden RBI opportunity this year, or this at bat. 1-1, chopped foul over toward the Cajun dugout. Pruitt's out front now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barrett has struck out 28 times this year. That's the second most of any of the Eagles. Sawyer Pruitt would dearly love to get one of those right here. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball toward third, but that's in foul ground. Gloved by Markle in foul territory, just past third base coach Travis Creel. So we'll do it all over again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two's up way high.
You know, you got to think too, a ground ball tonight is not a bad strategy to have. It rained about an hour, you know, but leading up to the game, that's why we were delayed here. So that turf is still wet. You want to make this defense pick up the
ball
ball
towards second base, could be 2. Flip for 1, throw to first, and that's going to go into the Southern Miss dugout. A wild throw to first base. That's going to mean 2 runs will score.
And that's exactly what I was fixing to say right there. Ground ball being a part of your strategy, you want the defense to be able to make a play and throw it across the diamond holding the wet ball. You see Blaze Rodriguez unable to make that turn over there to complete the double play. You see that ball just slipped out of his hands, goes wide and arm side into the dugout.
Not the kind of throw we expect him to make. So 2 runs are in. It's a 4-0 game. And Barrett moved up to second base on the throw into the dugout. Morrison and Gillespie both scored. Credit 1 RBI to Barrett on the ground ball since the Cajuns were unable to turn the double play. That's hit sharply but foul. Past Bryn Brewer, the first base coach. Louisiana had what it wanted. They were going to give up the run to get the 2 outs. But instead, just 1 out and a runner still in scoring position. Higdon fouls this one off. Struck out his first time up. Ground ball towards second again. Hernandez has it over to Amade for the second out on the play. Barrett moves up to third, but now there are two gone.
Again, you see that ball off that wet turf skip. Good play by Rigo Hernandez, sticking with it, making that out. You just, again, take your medicine. The Eagles have another runner here 90 feet away with another RBI chance.
Tucker Stockman, the catcher, flied out to center field his first time up. Three homers, 13 runs batted in for the Eagle catcher, as the 1-0 misses up high and in. Okay. Pruitt just threw the ball toward the Cajun dugout, and Torres was already asking home plate umpire Brian Hale for another ball. Coach Oz says, well, my runner should be able to score because he threw it away. That's not how it normally works. Go from Pruitt's up high, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes. 3 walks in the inning and a fielder's choice ground ball, compounded by a throwing error, and that's allowed the Eagles to score 2 runs without courtesy of a hit. This fastball cuts the plate, and it's 3-1. Misses up, ball 4. 4th walk given up in the inning. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs.
Coming to the plate for Southern Mississippi, number 5, Ty Long.
The designated hitter Ty Long struck out his first time up. Looked at a call third strike. That one hops up. Torres has to block that one.
Pruitt, first time through the order, I mean, was just razor sharp and has lost command here in this second time through the order.
Swung and missed at an 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Long making just his 8th start of the year. Fastball misses in. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. And the 3-1 is up high. That's 5 walks in the inning. And the bases are again loaded. We'll go back to the top of the order.
Cajuns are going to get something stirring up in the bullpen down there.
Seth Smith singled his last time up. 1 for 2. Was caught trying to steal. And the first pitch is up and in to Smith.
Sawyer Pruitt already at 71 pitches.
36 this inning. And that one misses up high.
And this is not how you drew it up for the Cajuns. I mean, especially in recent weeks where we've seen that pitching staff wear a bunch of different hats and kind of shrink a little bit with them using not as many bullpen arms. You're really hoping and banking on your starting pitching to go deep into some games and to eat some innings for you, to take the stress off of that bullpen on the back end. And you see Pappenbrock loosening here for the Cajuns. Tyler Pappenbrock,
the graduate student left-hander out of Indiana, getting loose. Probably did not anticipate getting loose this early, especially after those first 3 innings. But Pruitt's really struggled to throw strikes, and that one didn't miss by much.
Yeah, good news is that you're really only 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Bad news is the bases are loaded and you got a 3-0 count.
And that's on the inside corner, call strike 1. And Smith was already on his way to first base.
And if I'm Seth Smith, I'm looking fastball all the way here again, and you'll see this fastball dotted on the inside corner of the plate. Again, one of those marginal pitches, but
swings and misses. Torres did a good job of framing that up on that 3-0 pitch. So now we're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The merry-go-round will start. All 3 runners will get the break on 3 and 2. And that's in for call strike 3. Pruitt comes back and avoids a lot of damage there. But the Eagles still score 2 without a hit. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Southern Miss 4, Louisiana nothing. Christian Ostrander in his 3rd season as head coach of the Golden Eagles. First came to Hattiesburg back in 2018 as an assistant coach. Before that, he had served 2 years at Louisiana Tech as associate head coach. Stepped up to the associate spot in 2022 and 2023 and took over in 2024, and he has kept it going. The Eagles have won at now 9 consecutive 40-win seasons and pretty much on their way to number 10 so far this season with that 24-9 record. And Coach Oz, known as a guru as far as pitching coaches go, before he took over as head coach. And of course, one of his pitching coach staffers now, Gunnar Leger, former pitcher of the year in the Sun Belt Conference for Louisiana and the Cajuns pitching coach for the last couple of years. Mark Collins will lead things off for Louisiana. Struck out his first time up against Grayden Harris. 42 pitches through his first 3 innings. The 1-0's fouled away. Collins now at 244 on the year, but hitting 364 when he leads off innings. One is up high and away to the former standout at Opelousas Catholic High School, making his 9th start of the year. 2-1's fouled away. That'll get over the roof. Count will be even up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And it's primarily fastball, slider to right-handed hitters from Grayden Harris, and a pretty good sweeping slider again from that low 3/4 arm angle. You see it there. Sweeps all the way across the plate, and he's really commanded that well to his glove side.
We saw good breaking ball there.
We saw Josh Lim, that back foot breaking ball that literally hit Josh Lim's back foot.
3-2 to Collins. Tries to hold up, nubs it over into the Golden Eagle dugout. 4 games already final tonight in the Sun Belt. Appalachian State defeated ULM 13-5 in Monroe. Georgia State beat James Madison 10-5 in Atlanta. Marshall beat Old Dominion 8-1 as this bat goes flying on strike 3. Collins will go down, the 6th strikeout for Grayden Harris. And there's some of that earlier wetness today probably coming into play.
And Grayden Harris is doing a great job of mixing speed and location, staying with that fastball out and away, and then coming back inside with that breaking ball into the right-handed hitters, just tying up this Cajun lineup so far.
First pitch, 92-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Marshall beat Old Dominion 8-1 in Huntington, and Georgia Southern won at home over South Alabama 5-3. The other 2 games still in progress. Troy leads Texas State and San Marcos 3-1, the bottom of the 3rd, and Arkansas State leads Coastal Carolina 7-3 in Jonesboro in the bottom of the 8th. That one's up high and tight to Hernandez, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. If Arkansas State holds on, that'll just be Coastal Carolina's 2nd conference loss of the year. Chanticleers came into the weekend 11-1 in Sun Belt play as the 2-1 misses inside. Cut and miss on the 3-1, and now it's full to Hernandez. 288 on the year. This one is skied on the right side. Russo will have room, and he'll make the grab for the first out. 2nd out, rather.
Stepping in the batter's box for Louisiana, number 2, Donovan.
Good job of navigating the foul territory by Russo over there at first base. With that second baseman shaded over, he was really the only one that could make that play, and good job knowing that that ball is going to come back into the field of play, sticking with it, holding on to it for the 2nd out, bringing up Donovan LaSalle here, see if he can get something going for the Cajuns with 2 out and nobody on.
Lake Charles product, takes the first pitch low and in. Came out of that strong program at Barb High School before playing his first 2 college seasons at Oklahoma State. Before coming back to his home state this year. Breaking ball is in for a call strike. LaSalle at 220 overall. And now quickly down 1-2.
And he's hitting just 218 with the bases empty this year, so not a real big split. And he falls behind early 1-2.
Swing and a miss at the 1-2, 93 miles an hour. That's 7 strikeouts now for Grayden Harris through the first 4 innings. We'll go to the 5th. Golden Eagles 4, Cajuns nothing. Both of these teams with a solid winning tradition in collegiate baseball. You see the numbers that they've both compiled. We talked about the Golden Eagles streak. 21 NCAA tournament outings since 1990. The Cajuns have been in 19 NCAA tournaments since 2 years before that in 1988. And both teams have made an appearance in Omaha during that stretch. We'll go to the 5th inning. Sawyer Pruitt back out for his 5th inning of work. He only had to throw 35 pitches through the first 3, but 41 pitches in that 4th inning.
Yeah, that's something he's got to get figured out. I mean, this team needs him to give, a good Friday night effort, and 36 pitches an inning with 5 walks in the same inning. That's not a good Friday night effort. That's not something that you can afford to give up on a Friday night, especially with the game that Grayden Harris is throwing on the other side of the ball.
Joey Urban struck out his first 2 times. Takes the first pitch inside. Fastball for ball 1. Urban at 320 on the year. And the 1-0 misses high and in. The 2-0 cuts the plate at the letters, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pruitt trying to find his way after struggling the third. Bunch tried to put it down. Markle can't make the diving catch in foul ground. Urban tried to surprise everybody with the bunt. This guy that does not have a sacrifice bunt all year long.
Well, and he saw Drew Markle playing all the way back behind the bag, thought that he could, take a play out of the Cajuns book, sneak one down the third base line, get an easy one. Drew Markle gets a good read on it, gets a good jump, just unable, even with that 6'5" frame, to come up with it.
2-2 from Pruitt. That one's down low. And we'll go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Southern Miss scored 2 runs without benefit of a hit in the 4th. There's only been 4 hits in the game by both teams combined. 3-2 pitch, that's up high, ball 4.
And you'll see that a lot with these guys that have this delivery, that throw a true 4-seamer, especially over the top. Their misses are going to be up. That ball's spinning really, really efficiently out of their hand, and it's going to almost rise. And when you have days like that, you just got to release that a little bit further out front. But I think that's going to be the end of Sawyer Pruitt's night. Coach Seth Thibodeau is making the call to the bullpen here in the 5th inning.
Cajuns will go to the pen in the 5th. We'll come back to meet the new Cajun pitcher when we return. We play in the top of the 5th inning. Golden Eagles leading at 4-0. Will go to the bullpen, and they'll bring on graduate student left-hander Tyler Pappenbrock out of Leo, Indiana. Pappenbrock making his 12th appearance of the year, all but 1 in relief. 1-0 record-wise, 9.0 ERA. He's only thrown 13 innings this year, giving up 10 hits, 13 earned runs. He's walked 13 and struck out 13.
Yeah, and he's been a pretty good bullpen arm for the Cajuns, and it looks like he's done a little bit of work with that delivery. Looks like we've seen him a little bit more upright in games past. Looks like he's dropped that arm angle just a little bit. Kind of coming from a lower 3/4 slot, going to give it a little bit more run and a more sweeping type slider to pair with that. 13 innings pitched and 13 strikeouts does show that he has some strikeout ability. He has something that he can get you out with. Good fastball, usually upper 80s into the low 90s, and he'll have a changeup to round out that 3-pitch mix going the other way back to that arm side.
Tyler Pappenbrock threw 1 inning on the Wednesday night this week against Southeastern Louisiana. Gave up a hit but struck out 2. Came on to pitch the 6th inning in that game. Got roughed up a little bit last week at McNeese. 2 innings, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs, but before that he had gone 4 straight appearances where he had not given up a hit. He'll take over with nobody out in the 5th. And Kyle Morrison will stand in. The Eagles' leading hitter, 0 for 1 tonight. Walked and scored his last time up as the first pitch from the left-hander misses low and in. Morrison led off the 4th inning, drew a walk. Eventually came in to score. And the 1-0 misses outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 is fouled away. Pappenbrock got the win for the Cajuns when they walked off Maryland earlier in the season. Two-one missed somewhere, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
I look pretty good. Brian Hale with a tight zone back there through the first 4 innings.
3-1 misses. Ball 4. That is now 7 free passes for the Golden Eagles over the last 2 innings. As Urban moves up to second, Morrison now at first base. And Davis Gillespie, the cleanup hitter. 1 for 1 officially, singled and scored in the second, walked and scored in the 4th. That fastball's in for call strike 1. It's the 3rd time this season that Pappenbrock has seen action in a Sun Belt game. Also pitched against South Alabama and Texas State. This is a line shot just past Anthony Perez, our first base umpire. Foul ground. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 is fouled away as Gillespie just got a piece of that.
Yeah, and Pappenbrock really hoping for a ground ball here. Try to get a double play somewhere. Force at third, second, and first. So force at all 3 bags in the infield.
The 1-2 fouled away. That will get over the roof. The count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're joining us late, yes, we're just in the 5th inning. A 90-minute rain delay before this one started. Originally scheduled for 6 o'clock, started just a couple minutes after 7:30. As again, this was fouled on the right side. Taking aim again at the Cajun Cookie Club. Urban at second, Morrison at first. Nobody out. Breaking ball up the middle, gloved by Hernandez, steps on the bag for 1, throws to first for the double play. Cajuns had the shift on, and Hernandez able to make the catch.
And really good job by Pappenbrock. You see him think about touching it and pulls his arm back. Doesn't want to redirect that baseball. He knows he's got the 2 infielders pinching the middle right there, and Rigo Hernandez takes care of the rest. Takes him on the left side of the bag, but good job staying composed, touching that bag, and making a good throw over there to Lee Amadei. Again, to get that 2 for 1.
24th double play turned by the Cajuns this year. Urban moved up to third, but now there are 2 outs for Matthew Russo. It's officially 1 for 1. Had the 2-run homer in the second, walked in the 4th. Skies this one foul on the left side. Could not hold up on that one. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Pappenbrock. Ground ball on the right side. Amadei will glove it. He will pitch it to Pappenbrock. And the opening 2 walks do not blossom for the Golden Eagles here in the 5th. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Still, Golden Eagles 4, Cajuns nothing. The Eagles have won 7 of their last 10. They added to that on Tuesday night, they took a walk-off 3-2 win over UNO in Hattiesburg. They've won their last 3 conference series, all by 2-1 margins after they lost their opening conference series of the year at Arkansas State. Red Wolves took 2 out of 3 in that series, but since then, Southern Miss has taken series wins over Troy at home, App State at home, and at Old Dominion. Grayden Harris back out for his 6th inning, or rather his 5th inning of work. And he's given up only 2 base runners. The first inning double to Josh Lim and a walk to Lee Amadei back in the 3rd inning. And he's retired 11 of the last 12 he's faced as Drew Markle stands in. Ground ball toward the second baseman. Easy play for Morrison over to Russo. 1 pitch, 1 gone. Only 1 ball hit out of the infield for Louisiana so far tonight, and that was the second batter of the game when Josh Lim doubled to right field. Noah Lewis struck out his first time up. Takes a first pitch, 91-mile-an-hour strike. Lewis making his 20th start of the year, all of them in center field. His fastball cuts the plate, and Lewis down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, a really good job commanding that fastball to that glove side, keeping this Cajuns lineup honest.
It's fouled away over into the box seats on the right side. Yeah, Harris has 2 strikeouts in every inning except for the second. Lewis fouls this one back. Count stays a ball and 2 strikes. This is the first of a 3-game series. These teams will do it again tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time, Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Now, after that fastball that Noah Lewis was able to get a piece of, let's see if Harris goes with that breaking ball to that back foot.
Fouled away again. Touched 94 with that one. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Coastal Carolina has rallied back against Arkansas State. They're now tied at 7-7 as they play in the 9th inning in Jonesboro. And Lewis, they'll say he's out after the swing. I don't know if the ball hit him or
they said he went around on the swing, and the ball hit him, so that would be the call 3rd strike.
Okay. I didn't realize that he'd gotten hit by it after it. I was thinking hit to first base because the ball got away, but. Okay. Did it hit off his foot? I guess apparently
it hit off his foot or his leg. So he goes down on strikes for the 2nd time in as many at bats.
And 2 gone for Blaze Rodriguez, strikeout victim to lead off the 3rd inning. That is now 8 strikeouts for Grayden Harris. This pitch fouled away. That ties the 2nd most strikeouts that Harris has had all year. And in his 2-year career, he had 8 strikeouts against Oregon State back in February, and struck out 13 in 7 innings against North Alabama in a midweek game. This one skied in the infield. Harris is calling everybody off, and he'll make the catch himself. The third baseman Barrett came in, made contact, but the pitcher handled it himself for the third out. Third time in 5 innings, the Cajuns have gone up and down. We'll go to the 6th. Golden Eagles 4, Cajuns nothing. For the Cajuns recently, they're 3-9 over their last 12 games. Went down 2-1 in each of their last 2 conference series, here at home against ULM, and then last weekend at James Madison, to slip down to 4-8 in conference play. And it does not get a lot easier. They'll be on the road the next 2 conference weekends. They'll be at Troy next weekend and at Arkansas State the following weekend. Dre Barrett will lead it off in the top of the 6th inning. 0 for 2, does have an RBI. A fielder's choice ground ball back in the 4th. Takes a first pitch strike from Tyler Pappenbrock, who came on in relief in the 5th and got 3 outs on a double play and a ground ball. And a swing and miss from Barrett. Quickly he's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Pappenbrock needs a good clean inning right here. Get some momentum back on their side and see if he can ignite that offense.
0-2 is fouled away. Coastal Carolina has scored again in the top of the 9th. They now lead Arkansas State 8-7. A big series in Jonesboro. Breaking ball, and wow. Missed somewhere.
If anything, that's got to be out.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sky to center field. Lewis coming on. Let's make a pretty good run at it, but gets there in time to make the catch for the first out. After walking the first hitter he faced, Pappenbrock's now retired 3 in a row.
And does a good job of doubling up on that breaking ball. And gets Barrett guessing out in front. Noah Lewis runs under that one for an easy out, number 1.
Ben Higdon's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. And he's hit by that pitch. For Pappenbrock, his 4th hit batsman of the year. So Higdon's at first base with 1 out.
And as a lefty, you got to really bear down against those left-handed hitters. That's where you make your money.
Tucker Stockton 0 for 1. Flied out and walked. Coastal Carolina scored again. They now lead Arkansas State 10-7. They scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning. 1-0 pitches up high. So unless Arkansas State can put up a 3 spot in the bottom, Coastal Carolina is going to improve to 12-1 in conference play.
Did you say 7 runs in the 9th inning?
7 in the 9th. Sky to right field, pretty deep. LaSalle going back, still going back. Not going to have room for this one. Tucker Stockman with his 4th home run of the year. And it's a 6-0 game.
And you can tell right as that one came off the bat, it had a little juice on it. And that one leaves the yard at 96 miles an hour, going 365 feet. Clanks off of the foul pole and straightaway right field. And good swing, good approach, all his energy going towards the middle of the field. And
364 feet, so didn't get out by much, but got out by enough. 2nd home run of the night for the Eagles. Who came into tonight with 40 as a team. Ty Long 0 for 1, strikeout and a walk. And takes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball is in for a call strike. Swings and misses at the 0-2. First strikeout for Pappenbrock, and there are 2 gone.
That's another early Lord strikeout. That's making 6 on 9 for Cajuns pitching.
Reared back and got a little bit of extra on that one. 92 miles an hour on that fastball. He's able to put away Long for out number 2, and that turns the lineup back over to Seth Smith at the top.
Smith 1 for 3, had a single in the 3rd. Grounded out and struck out, and a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside half for strike 1. Southern Miss with 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 2 here in the 6th. Ground ball over the pitcher's head, but a nice play by Rodriguez behind the bag to get it over to Amedee for the 3rd out. But the Eagles get 2 more on the 2-run homer by Tucker Stockman. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Southern Miss 6, Louisiana nothing. Sunbelt Conference well represented in the national RPI numbers this week. Of course, Southern Miss up there in the top 15 along with Coastal Carolina. Cajuns still the number 4 team in the league as far as RPI goes at the number 46 spot. And Brennan, that tells me 2 things, is that this team has played a very, very good schedule all season long, and those teams that they've already played have continued to win a lot of games.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen that so far. Kansas State having a really good year. Missouri State, they're sitting at the 11th spot in RPI. Cajuns played those guys earlier in the season. Yeah, I mean, even with the little bit of a slide that the Cajuns have been on since conference has started, to still be sitting at 46, again, to your point, it just shows the strength of their schedule.
And it also says that if this team can right the ship a little bit, get something going, they're not that far out from. It sounds almost crazy the way they're playing, but they're not that far away from being in a position that maybe they don't have to win the tournament to get into postseason play.
No, but at the end of the day,
they've got to turn things around.
You absolutely do have to turn things around, and then towards this end of the season, you've got to play well enough. If your RPI is good enough, you've got to play well enough to show the committee that you're peaking at the right time and playing good enough baseball to warrant you getting that at-large bid.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jose Torres, leading off the 6th inning. Torres making just his 2nd start of the year. Ground ball on the right side. That's off the glove of Russo. Will he have time to make the play? Yes, he will. Boy, Jose just can't run like he did last year with that big brace on his knee, and you can tell he is not running at full speed. Doing all he can right now physically.
Yeah, and does a good job of putting the barrel on it, and you see him hustling down there. And just not enough juice to get in there in time.
Harris going over to cover the bag. He's now retired 8 in a row as Lee Amedee stands in. He was the last Cajun to reach base. Drew a 2-out walk in the 3rd inning. First pitch, 92 mile an hour down in the dirt.
And speaking of committee, last week, Dr. Brian Maggard, our AD here, our athletic director here at the University of Louisiana, was appointed to the college football selection committee. Big honor for him.
Honor for the entire department, the university, and for the Sunbelt Conference. The conference will be represented in the room as far as when the CFP selections are made, and Dr. Maggard will serve on that committee for a 3-year term. The 2-0 is down low to Amedee, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Get me over fastball is there for strike 1. Brendan, for years, people said that the most powerful committee in the NCAA was the Division I basketball selection committee, but I'm not so sure that the CFP isn't just as important, if not more important.
Yeah, I mean, college football is it's the big dog in the room for college athletics. You know, there's no two bones about it.
Wow, Harris comes back with 3 strikes after going down 3-0.
I mean, college football is the biggest moneymaker for the NCAA, and to be appointed to that committee, to have a seat at that table, really impressive. And Harris is just grooved in right now. I mean, he is dotting that fastball both to that glove side and has command of it back arm side as well. Comes all the way back down 3-0 to get Amade looking 2 up, 2 down here. Again, Harris rolling.
First pitch strike to Josh Lim, who's the only Cajun to get it out of the infield. He had a double off the wall in right field back in the first. And that is the only hit so far for the Louisiana squad.
You know, after he hit that, you could feel the energy in this place, you know, start to amp up just a little bit, thinking that, you know, they'll be able to gain a little bit more momentum if they were to be able to push him across.
Fastball cuts the plate, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But it's just been kind of a lot of the same. This Cajun lineup has not been able to link hits together, hasn't been able to really get into their flow. You know, Coach Deggs made a comment of it in his media day, saying that this engine's got 8 cylinders in it, but they're really just running at 2 or 3, and kind of waiting for the rest of those 4 or 5 cylinders to kick in.
Cajuns came into the weekend hitting .249 as a team, just .233 in conference play. But Lim with his 2nd hit of the night, that's going to go down in the corner in right field. And he's not hesitating. He's headed for second base. He's got his 2nd double of the night. Product of Baton Rouge and the Dunham School.
Yeah, he's had a rock solid approach tonight. I mean, just seeing that fastball out over the plate and not trying to do too much with it, just finding the barrel, getting it out the other way, and he's 2 for 3 tonight with 2 big doubles. Let's see if they can push him across. Mark Collins coming up here with an RBI chance with 2 outs.
2 strikeouts for Collins, his first 2 times up. Cut and a miss at a breaking ball.
You start looking just kind of at baseball economics here, and after this inning, Cajuns will only have 9 outs remaining. Down 6, you got to start pushing them across.
Collins squares to bunt, bunts through it, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
A base hit here from Mark Collins. Coach Zach LaFleur over there at third base is no doubt going to send Josh Lim almost no matter where that ball is.
Oh, 2 stays up high. You have non-related LaFleurs coaching first and third. Trey LaFleur over at first. Zach LaFleur at third. Fastball cuts the plate, 94 miles an hour. Collins goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. Cajuns leave a runner stranded in scoring position. We played 6. Golden Eagles still lead it 6-0. TV. You can stream every out-of-market Major League Baseball game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackouts and other restrictions do apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB-TV. We've played 6 here at the Teague tonight. These 2 teams have combined for only 6 hits. 4 for the Eagles, 2 for the Cajuns. But 2 of the Golden Eagles hits have been 2-run homers from Matthew Russo and Tucker Stockman, and that's pretty much the difference in the ball game. Joey Urban will lead off the top of the 7th inning. 0 for 2 officially, 2 strikeouts and a walk. He was the last batter to face Cajun starter Sawyer Pruitt. Tyler Pappenbrock on for his 2nd full inning of work. He actually got 3 outs in the 5th. A double play and a ground ball. Gave up the 2-run homer, but got 3 outs in the 6th. 1-0 misses, 2 balls and no strikes. It's a final in Jonesboro. Coastal Carolina defeated Arkansas State 10-7. This pitch is in for call strike.
Well, and you got to know that they're going to kick themselves the rest of the weekend.
Arkansas State led that game 7-2 going to the top of the 9th.
God, that's a terrible way to give one up. But that's why Coastal is what Coastal is. I mean, that's a really, really good team that it's not over till that last out's made, and good teams find a way to win no matter what the circumstance.
They're now 12-1 in conference play. 2-2 pitch, swung at and missed. Urban goes down on strikes for the 3rd time in the ball game. 2nd strikeout for Pappenbrock. He's really been in control except for 1 pitch that Stockman took out of the park in the last inning.
A good late run on that fastball away, and Urban 11-game hitting streak on the line here. You got to think that in the 7th inning he might just have one more chance at it.
Kyle Morrison officially 0 for 1, grounded out. He's walked his last 2 times up and takes a first pitch strike from Pappenbrock. So the only other game still going, and I don't know if it's still going or not. It may be in some type of delay. Troy and Texas State. Troy leads 3-1. They've been listed in the bottom of the 3rd for about the last 2 hours. They may be experiencing some weather problems also. That one might have gone off of Torres, giving him a couple extra seconds to shake that one off. 0-2, swung at and missed. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pappenbrock.
Good job of making that adjustment against the lefty Morrison. We call it getting your guy. Left on left. And runs that 2-seam fastball in on the hands. You see Morrison just a tad late there.
Davis Gillespie is 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 4th, hit into a double play in the 5th. Is nubbed foul. 2 o'clock Central Time tomorrow for Game 2 of this Sun Belt Series. Finale scheduled for 1 o'clock Sunday. This is hit hard to right center field, and this is going to go up the gap. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Gillespie on his way to 2nd with a 2-out stand-up double. His 11th double of the year. He leads the Eagles.
Coming to the plate for the Golden Eagles, number 19, Matthew Russo.
It looked like he just threw the bat out there. I mean, doesn't even look like he finished his full swing. Gets it out there at 102 miles an hour. Splits the gap in between 2 pretty fast outfielders there in right center. Coasts in with the 2-out double, getting him in the scoring position with a chance to add on to a good insurance run here.
Matthew Russo had a 2-run homer back in the 1st. Fouls that one off his foot for strike 1. Since then, walked and grounded out. 0-1 fastball cut at and missed. Here comes the 0-2. This one's fouled away. We mentioned the 2 games remaining this weekend. When Sunbelt teams finish this weekend, they will be halfway through with the conference season. They will have played 15 games each, on their way to 30. 0-2 well away. Torres able to block it. Gillespie at second. Here comes the 1-2. Ground ball up the middle, off the glove of Pappenbrock. Bare hand and still able to make the play. Knocked the glove off. He's still able to recover and flip the left-handed throw to Amadei for the 3rd out. We'll take 7th inning stretch, and that's a good one to go to the stretch with. Golden Eagles lead it 6-0. Rain chased away part of our crowd tonight, but still a good group on hand at Teague Moore Field tonight, enjoying the traditional 7th inning stretch. John Fogerty center field. I always enjoy looking at the delegation of visiting fans who always sit behind the visitors' dugout when the 7th inning stretch comes up. And sometimes I think they're not really sure how to react, because it is a little not traditional, but they see the hometown fans getting into it. Eventually they do too. And they will finish the 2nd chorus regardless of what happens on the field as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Rigo Hernandez 0 for 2, strikeout and a pop-up. 1-0 pitch fastball is in from Grayden Harris, who's out for his 7th inning of work. .90 pitches through the first 6 innings. This one sails up high. Cajuns have had only 2 hits, both of them coming from Josh Lim on a pair of doubles. The only other Cajun to reach base, a 2-out walk to Lee Amadei back in the 3rd inning. (2-1) grounder toward the shortstop, Smith. Throw across to Russo is in time for the 1st out.
Playing for Louisiana, number 2, Donovan LaSalle.
So 1 gone for Donovan LaSalle. 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. Fouls away the first pitch.
In other news, how about Rory McIlroy with a 6-shot lead through the first 2 rounds of the Masters?
I think he birdied 6 of the last 7 holes he played today. Big cut and a miss and a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and quickly Harris is out front, no balls and 2 strikes.
Louisiana boy Sam Burns is sitting in 2nd place, tied with Patrick Reed, both at 6 under. Well, Patrick Reed's a Louisiana boy as well, University High in Baton Rouge. Sam Burns from North Louisiana.
The 0-2 skied foul. That'll get out of play over past the Cajun Cooking Club.
And you've got the usual suspects: Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose. Those are all sitting at 5 under. Jason Day, Cam Young, Wyndham Clark.
You know it's a good golf tournament when the cream absolutely rises to the top. I mean, everybody at the top of that leaderboard. They're major winners and so forth. And this was golfed to left center field. And that's going to go off the wall. LaSalle will hold up at second base. Cajuns have 3 hits tonight, all of them doubles. And that one went off the bat at 105 miles an hour.
Yeah, LaSalle just gets out in front of that hanging breaking ball. And those are the ones that he likes to hit, ones that he can get that bat head out in front of. See that breaking ball just run right into the barrel. He short hops the wall out there in left center. Again, 3rd hit of the ball game, all getting into scoring position. 2 of those have been by Josh Lim. Donovan LaSalle joins the party. Let's see if Drew Markle can get something going here as well.
Markle 0 for 2, couple of ground ball outs. Pulls back from the bunt, takes ball 1 low and in. Markle 294 with runners in scoring position this year. He's got 17 RBIs. That's only 2 off the team lead. Tries to put the bunt down, and it'll be a foul ball. Don't know if it went off the foot, went off something in foul territory.
See, going to be right off the front foot.
Ooh, he was almost out of the box too when that ball made contact. Either way, 1 ball and 1 strike. This one's fouled away again. LaSalle at second base. This one's hit into left field. This will get down for a base hit. That will score the run. As Drew Markle delivers the RBI single, and the Cajuns are on the scoreboard. For Markle, his 18th RBI of the year.
There's that breaking ball again that Harris just tries to get in on the hands of Drew Markle, the right-handed hitter, and he does a good job of sucking those hands in, staying through it enough to get it out there in the left field. Cajuns scratched their first run of the game here in the bottom of the 7th.
This is Coach Oz. Christian Ostrander is out to talk to Harris. The head coach will make all the trips out to the circle. There is action in the Southern Miss bullpen. Colby Allen, senior right-hander from Louisville, Mississippi. As Noah Lewis stands in. Lewis, strikeout victim each of his first times up. Markle at first base. He's 9 for 9 on stolen bases this year. As Lewis tried to put the bunt down, fouled it away. Markle with the 9 stolen bases. That's more than the Golden Eagles have as a team this year. Quick throw across, but Markle standing on the bag. The 0-1 to Lewis. Tries to bunt it again, bunts through it. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Lewis trying to push bunt to the right side of the infield, almost trying to bunt it to second base over there at Morrison. If he can get it past the pitcher Harris, falling off to the left, the third base side, it's an easy hit for the speedy Lewis.
But now down 0-2. Grounds this one over toward the Golden Eagle dugout, and nobody can make the play. Some fans going to have a souvenir down the right field line as the count stays 0 balls, 2 strikes. Lewis, freshman from that solid program at Catholic High in Baton Rouge. One of 4 freshmen in the Cajun starting lineup tonight. 0-2 again, fouled away over toward the Eagles. One more time over that way. Not quite that far this time.
And if I'm Harris, I just keep pumping Lewis with fastballs, just not getting the bat head out, and not really been not able to be on time so far through his first couple at bats to the fastball.
Again, the 0-2. And again, it's fouled away.
You see it again. That's a fastball in middle in. And Noah Lewis just seems like he's just a tick late.
107 pitches now for Harris as we play in the 7th. Breaking ball stays down low and in. Hit him. Went with the breaking ball and caught Lewis on the foot. Louisiana with its best rally of the night. 1 run already in. Runners at first and second. Just 1 out.
At 110 pitches, this is probably going to be, and there we go. I was about to say, probably going to be close to the end of Harris's night.
Christian Ostrander's on his way out to the mound. That'll mean we'll have a new pitcher for the Golden Eagles here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll meet the new Southern Miss pitcher when we return. We play in the bottom of the 7th. Eagles lead at 6-1. Harris had the Cajuns under his thumb for the first 5 innings. Gave up only 2 base runners, struck out 10. Walked only 1 batter, but ran into some issues in the 7th. A double, a single, and a hit batsman. Cajuns have 1 run in and have 2 runners on base. Harris still in position as the winning pitcher as Colby Allen will come on. Senior right-hander from Louisville, Mississippi, making his 12th appearance of the year. He started 5 games, 3-1 record-wise, 3.29 earned run average. 38 innings this year. He's given up 43 hits, but only 14 runs. He's walked 14 in those 38 innings and struck out 39.
And again, something to strike you out with, right? 39 strikeouts and 38 innings pitched. So he's got power stuff. Going to come at you with a 3-pitch mix, a fastball, slider, and a changeup. It's primarily fastball, slider to both righties and lefties. Lefties hitting 306, while righties only hitting 267 against him. So a little bit of a split there. Much more effective against right-handed hitters.
Allen making his 6th appearance of the year in Sun Belt play. The Cajuns will come on with a pinch hitter as Kason Ballard, the right-hander, will hit for Rodriguez. And takes the first pitch down low from Allen. This 91-mile-an-hour fastball is in for a strike. Ballard seeing action in his 12th game this year. He's made 5 starts, hitting 176. 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. Skies this one to center field. Urban coming on. He will make the catch for the 2nd out. Just got under that one a little too much.
We'll have another pinch hitter here. Steven Spolita coming in to hit for the catcher Jose Torres. So likely we'll see Colt Brown here to finish this game out behind the dish.
Spolita started 28 games as the DH, hitting .271, couple of homers, 17 runs batted in. And he is the Cajuns' leading hitter in conference play. He's hitting .370 in Sun Belt play this year. One 1-0 fastball is in for a strike from Allen. Markle at second, Lewis at first. 1 run in the inning. One pitch, lashed foul on the left side. And now Allen's out front, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Should Spolita keep it going, it'll be back to the top of the order and Lee Amadei.
Well, and I say that Steven Spolita is actually a catcher by trade also, so we may see him back behind the plate.
1-2 is in for call strike 3. Allen gets the fly ball and the strikeout to get out of the inning. Cajuns do score 1 on 2 hits. We'll go to the 8th. Golden Eagles 6, Cajuns 1. A look at the Sun Belt Conference standings, and that is up to date with the 5 games that have been completed tonight. 5 out of the 7 are done. Our game here, and then the game between Troy and Texas State in San Marcos that's been in the bottom of the 3rd. They're obviously in a weather delay there also, if they have not already suspended for the evening. As you get a look at the standings, Southern Miss right now in 3rd place all by themselves. ULM and Marshall both a half a game behind them. Cajuns trying to claw their way back up. That 4-8 conference mark. Cajuns will go with Colt Brown behind the plate after Spolita pinch hit. And Dre Barrett will lead things off for the Eagles. Barrett 0 for 3, does have an RBI on a bases loaded ground ball back in the 4th inning. Cajuns also make a change as Kason Ballard pinch hit, and Owen Galt now steps in at second base. And Hernandez will move over to shortstop. 0-2 misses away from Pappenbrock, who's out for his 3rd inning of work. He's given up only 2 hits. And the 1-2 is fouled away.
We do see Colt Brown back there behind the plate.
So it will be Galt hitting number 8 and Brown hitting number 9 for the Cajuns should they come back around in the order, as the 1-2 misses outside. The 2-2 from Pappenbrock. Skied on the right side over near the box seats. Is it going to get out of play? Yes, it will. So count will stay 2-2. Two from Pappenbrock. Again fouled on the right side.
Hey now. one snuck past the.
Tell our guys out there in Section A to keep their heads up.
That one snuck past the net.
Swings and misses at the 2-2. Nope, just got a piece of it. Colt Brown taking over behind the plate. Not an unfamiliar spot. He started 32 of the 33 games he's played this year as the Cajun catcher. 2-2 breaking ball. That is roped into right field for a base hit. Past Galt at second base. So Barrett has his first hit of the night and the 6th hit of the ball game for Southern Miss.
Fouled off enough pitches and able to stay on time to that fastball and just mashes it out to right field.
101 miles an hour off the bat.
Has been one of the only guys that's had success off of Pappenbrock tonight, and brings up Ben Higdon. Leadoff man reaches.
Higdon hit by a pitch and came in to score on Tucker Stockman's home run a couple of innings ago. He is 0 for 2 officially. Tries to get the bunt down. It's a good one. Pappenbrock will have to go to first and throw it away. But an alert play by Owen Galt to back up the throw and hold everybody to just one base. I don't know, wet ball or what, but the throw just got away from Pappenbrock.
Well, it looked like he didn't really get a good grip on it. I mean, you'll see bunt's not a great bunt, more of a sacrifice bunt, just killed out in front of the pitcher. And Pappenbrock, see, it looks like he just kind of, it just didn't get a good grip coming out of the glove, and that ball just sails out up and arm side. Good job by Blaze Rodriguez. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen Galt over there at second base. Backing up and limiting the damage. Looks like we're going to have another sacrifice bunt here. They're going to make Pappenbrock field this position yet again.
Tucker Stockman, the catcher, 1 for 2, had the 2-run homer in the 6th. The 1-0 is a little bit high. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And I tell you, Lee Amade is no more than about 30 feet away from home plate when the pitch got there.
And he's got to be careful here. You know, up 2-0. Don't be surprised if they run a little slash play.
Bunted at this one and didn't come up with it.
You know, if you're going to try and sacrifice over again, that's we're going to have a little offensive meeting here.
Stockman has 1 sack bunt this year. Golden Eagles don't sack very much. They've got 12 as a team this year. And that looked like, honestly, about as uncomfortable a bunt attempt as you've seen all year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can tell that these guys don't have a whole lot of trial runs under their belt.
This one's up high and it's 3-1.
Stockman again is going to try and make Drew Markle field the bunt over there at third base, make him vacate the base to allow that runner Barrett to go in there at third base behind the crashing Drew Markle.
Here comes the 3-1, gets the bunt down the third base line. They will have to go to first as Markle throws over to Galt covering for the first out, but both runners will move up. And against that defense, that's the only place you can get that bunt. And Stockman did a good job that time of getting it down.
And again, you bunt it hard at the third baseman. You make him vacate it, make him make the throw with a wet ball over there across. And you just play station-to-station baseball. With the way that this team swings it, you get a runner in scoring position or 2 runners in scoring position, one just 90 feet away. You get a ball anywhere in the infield. You got a chance to add on another insurance run and take one back the Cajuns took from you in the bottom half last inning.
Seth Thibodeau on his way to the circle. That'll be all for Tyler Pappenbrock. We'll meet the new Cajun pitcher. When we return, we play in the top of the 8th inning. Golden Eagles lead at 6-1. We'll go with their 3rd pitcher of the night. It will be junior right-hander Garrett Carter out of Allen, Texas, and Tyler Junior College. Carter making his 14th appearance of the year, all in relief, mostly in short relief. 1-0, 7.50 ERA. He does have 2 saves, 18 innings this year, 23 hits, 15 earned runs. He's walked 9, struck out 17 so far this year.
Yeah, and this is a guy that started out of the gate really hot, kind of lost his mojo after his first 3 or 4 outings, and you see him gaining a little bit more confidence every outing that he's had. Really good fastball, good ride on that fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour, good breaking ball and changeup to mix in with that. And he's going to need all of his stuff here to try and get out of this inning without giving up another one.
Second and third, Cajuns will pull the infield in, and a familiar face will be standing in the box as Caleb Stelly will pinch hit for the Golden Eagles. And of course, Stelly, a 3-year member of the Ragin Cajun squad over the last 3 years. In fact, hit .302 last year. Was second on the team in hitting. Out of Baton Rouge. First pitch low and in for ball 1. Cajun defense drawn in, everybody just about on the green, with Barrett at third and Higdon at second. Cut and a miss by Stelly, who honestly hasn't had the season he would have hoped, hitting .186. He started 19 games for Southern Miss, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Breaker stays low. Here comes the 2-1. That one's down low. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Stelly. 11 for 59 this year. He's had a 3 2-hit games. The 3-1 is up high and tight, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. Eighth walk given up by Cajun pitching tonight, but the first since the 5th inning. So bases full with 1 out for Seth Smith. 1 for 4 tonight. First pitch is down low, 95 miles an hour on that fastball. But Carter's got to locate after walking the first batter he faced.
Yeah, double play is in order here. Force at every base.
This one's fouled away, back into the screen. Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball. One is also fouled away. Carter comes back. It's out front, a ball and 2 strikes. Carter with the 1-2. This one's skied on the left side, but that will also go foul over into the bullpen area. Again, the 1-2 is down low.
That arm must be feeling pretty good tonight. He's been consistently 94, 95 miles an hour. And it looks like that fastball's got a little bit of extra zip on it than we've seen the last couple weeks here from Garrett Carter.
That one bounces up, gets away from Brown, and that'll score a run on the wild pitch. Brown really didn't have much of a chance at that one. That one hit well out in front of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, that breaking ball, just a spike breaking ball that Colt Brown really doesn't have a chance to get in front of. and even more importantly, it takes away the force out at first base. It takes away that double play opportunity. And now a ball in the infield, it'll create a contact play, bang play at home.
This one's hit hard to center field, but Lewis is there. He'll make the catch, but that will be deep enough to score another run. So credit Seth Smith with the sac fly, as Higdon scores from third base.
And good at bat, just owning that fastball, knowing that Garrett Carter likes that fastball, especially after spiking the breaking ball. Infield playing in with one out, knew he had to lift one, get it out in the outfield to score that run from third. He did just that and adds to this lead. Southern Miss now up 8-1 here in the top of the 8th.
Joey Urban 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, with a walk mixed in. The Eagles have now scored 2 runs in every even numbered inning. 2 in the 2nd, the 4th, the 6th, and the 8th. And the 1-0 misses low and away. Cut and a miss and a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. The wild pitch by Carter, his 5th of the year. And then the second run scoring on Smith's sac fly. As this is fouled away, that will get out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Urban. Swings and miss at the breaking ball. But the Eagles score 2 more. And they do it on just 1 hit. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Southern Miss 7, Louisiana 1. 8, Louisiana 1. Schedules that these teams have played. Louisiana's strength of schedule still ranks 24th in the country. And you see the record of their opponents combined so far this year. That's one of the reasons they still have an RPI in the top 50. Now the Golden Eagles don't shy away from good competition either. Their strength of schedule is 13th in the country, and their opponents have won almost 600 games already this year. So both of these teams have played quality opposition, and that quality opposition has won a lot of games.
I mean, 2 out of 3 versus UC Santa Barbara. 1 against Oregon State, beat Baylor, beat Alabama, Louisiana Tech swept, beat Mississippi State, beat Ole Miss.
They were about as hot as anybody in the country first month and a half of the season. 15-2 was their record as of mid-March. As Lee Amadei stands in, 0 for 2 tonight. Drew a walk and takes a first pitch strike from Colby Allen, who's out for his first full inning of work. Came on in relief in the 7th and got a fly ball and a strikeout after Louisiana had scored their first run. 0-1 fastball misses away. This one's fouled away. Barrett, third baseman, making chase, but that one's going to get up into the stands. Amadei's got a 13-game hitting streak. Maybe on the line here. He's also extended his on-base streak to 16 games. One-two is in for call strike 3. Caught the inside half down around thigh high. And Amade goes down on strikes for the second straight time.
And that's just a good, call that a front door fastball. That fastball starts at the hip of Amade. You see that late sink, that late action right down back into the inside corner. Good pitch by Allen. Big first out of the inning.
Allen struck out 2 in a row as Josh Lim will stand in, the designated hitter. 2 doubles tonight. It's 2 for 3.
And he'll turn around and bat from the left side of the plate, facing the right-hander Allen.
His fastball is in for call strike 1. Here comes the 1-1. A cut and a miss. And Allen's up a ball and 2 strikes as we get past the 10 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone. Our game delayed 90 minutes with the rains that came pre-game. Got started just a couple minutes after 7:30. But hopefully the rain is out of here for the rest of the weekend. Ground ball towards first base, but this is going to be in foul ground. And the count will stay 2-2.
Another story to watch this weekend. It'll be that Texas versus Texas A&M series. First time Coach Jim Schlossnagle goes back to A&M after leaving for the Longhorns. Texas A&M got the better of that battle tonight.
2-2 pitch. This is lined into right field. Josh Lim has a 3-hit night. His first multiple hit game of the year, and he's got 3 of them. He has 3 of the Cajuns' 5 hits. So he's at first base with 1 out. Cajuns will bring on a pinch hitter and Maddox Mendino, the junior from Minden, back after serving a 1-game suspension on Wednesday. Did not participate in the game at Southeastern on Wednesday. Takes a first pitch down low for ball 1. Mendino hitting .222 on the year. No homers, 12 runs batted in. Fouls this one away as Louisiana tries to get another left-hander to go against the right-hander Allen. Mendino pinch hitting for Collins will likely take a spot in the outfield in the 9th. One from Allen. That's down low. The 2-1 cuts the plate, knee high, and it's even up 2 balls and 2 strikes. They've apparently resumed in San Marcos. Troy leading Texas State 3-1. They play now in the top of the 4th inning. This one swung at and missed by Mendino. So he goes down swinging for the 2nd out. 3rd strikeout out of 5 batters that Colby Allen has faced.
Coming to the plate for the Cajuns, number 10,
Good sharp breaking ball by Allen. Again, that starts at that same tunnel as that fastball did just a pitch before. And the bottom just drops out of that one. And he's 1 out away from pushing this thing to the 9th inning.
Rigo Hernandez 0 for 3. Ground ball towards second base. Morrison has it. He'll flip over to Smith, take the easy way at second. And the Cajuns are retired in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th inning. Golden Eagles 8, Cajuns 1. More games here this weekend. Then on the road on Tuesday, neutral site game. They'll play Ole Miss's Rebels. That'll be played at Pearl, Mississippi at Trustmark Park. Then they'll head back home, a 3-game conference series against Texas State next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 12 noon for those 3 games. As the Eagles will be trying to keep pace in the Sun Belt race. Came in to the weekend tied for 3rd. Right now they're in 3rd place by themselves, with ULM losing earlier today. And unless the Cajuns can rally, they will be in 3rd place and only a half game out of 2nd place, since Texas State is right now 2nd with an 8-4 record. Garrett Carter on for his first full inning of work after coming on in relief in the 8th. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 as Kyle Morrison takes the first pitch, fastball, strike 1. Morrison 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Struck out his last time up. Ground ball, foul. Morrison's hit safely in 25 of his last 27 games. The 0-2's up high and away. It will be 5, 6, and 7 in the Louisiana order in the bottom of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss by Morrison as he goes down on strikes for the 2nd straight time.
That's another early Lord strikeout.
And again, another good fastball from Garrett Carter, 94 miles an hour. You see, gets it to that glove side, painted in on the left-handed hitter.
Carter's faced 4 hitters, a walk, a sacrifice fly, and a couple of strikeouts. Davis Gillespie will stand in and take a first pitch breaker for call strike 1. Gillespie, 2 of the Eagles' 6 hits tonight, a single in the 2nd, a double in the 7th. Two balls and 1 strike. Gillespie lines this one into center field. One hops it to Noah Lewis. So Davis Gillespie also has a 3-hit night.
Holy moly, 109 miles an hour.
Yeah, that one was smoke.
That was a screamer right back up the middle. And that's a big boy when he catches it on the barrel. I mean, it's about 275 feet. Doesn't get but maybe 10 feet off the ground.
4th time this year that Gillespie's had 3 or more hits in a game. And Matthew Russo will stand in. Had the 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning that gave the Eagles a lead. They have not given up. 1 for 3 officially. 1-0 from Carter. This is skied in the infield, and this is a major league pop-up. Markle will camp under it and make the catch. I don't know if TrackMan, you can do all kinds of things with it, but I don't know if they have a measurement for like how high a ball goes.
Well, they've got launch angle, and that was almost 90 degrees, straight up in the air.
So 2 gone for Dre Barrett. 1 for 4 tonight. Singled and scored his last time. Swings and misses at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. breaking ball is in, and quickly Carter out front. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 is on the inside corner. Call strike 3. Third strikeout for Garrett Carter in this brief outing. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Golden Eagles lead at 8-1. Louisiana will play 2 more games this weekend here in this Sun Belt Series against the Golden Eagles. They'll have the midweek off this week, and then they'll be on the road next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They'll be at the Troy Trojans, 6 o'clock, 3:30, and 1 o'clock. All those games will be available on ESPN+. Cajuns need a big rally here in the bottom of the 9th, as Colby Allen will be trying to close it out. Allen came on in relief in the 7th inning. He's given up 1 hit, struck out 3. He will not qualify for a save because his team was ahead 6-0 when he entered the game. And he will have not pitched 3 full innings, which could also qualify him for a save, as Donovan LaSalle doubled and scored his last time up. Takes a first pitch strike. LaSalle 1 for 3. Had the only run of the ball game in the 7th. He had a 1-out double. Drew Markle followed with an RBI single. Fouls away the 0-1. 2 o'clock Central Time tomorrow afternoon. The weather should be better. Oh-2 could not hold up. Down in the dirt. They'll have to throw to first as Stockman goes to Russo. And that's 4 strikeouts and 6 batters now for Colby Allen in relief. So 1 out for Drew Markle. RBI single his last time. He takes a 91-mile-an-hour fast strike. Oh, 1 breaker misses down low. They have definitely resumed in San Marcos. They play now in the 5th inning. Troy leading Texas State 3-1. Obviously had an extended weather delay. So we will not be the last game to finish in the Sun Belt tonight. The 1-2 to Markle. Misses low and away. Markle at .227 on the year. Just 6 for 34 in conference play. And swings and misses at this one. 91-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees. And that's now 5 strikeouts and 7 hitters that Allen has faced.
Allen's just got that 2-seam sinker working. I mean, you see that thing just about halfway through. I mean, it just changes planes and it dives hard to that arm side. And it's given the Cajuns fits here since he's entered the game.
So Noah Lewis, the last chance. He takes a first pitch call strike. Took something off that one down low. Andrew Herman scheduled to get the start tomorrow for Louisiana against Camden Sundstrom for the Golden Eagles as the 1-1's fouled away. The Cajuns now down to their last strike. One-two pitch. It's down low. Allen with the 2-2, little nubber toward the second baseman. Morrison will glove it, and it's an up and down inning for the Cajuns in the ninth. And Southern Miss's Golden Eagles strike first in this Sun Belt series. They have 4 crooked number innings, 2 runs each in the second, fourth, sixth, and eighth. Top that with some strong pitching, and they're up 1-0. Brendan, this one, the Eagles took the momentum early, really never gave it up, never allowed the Cajuns to get back in the game. And that home run by Matthew Russo sort of got things started.
Yeah, again, Cajuns plagued by the long ball on the defensive side of the baseball, and it's the same old song and dance, unable to get anything going collectively as an offense. And this is a team that collectively needs to look at themselves in the mirror and decide where they want to go and how they want to end up and finish out the rest of their season.
With the win, Southern Miss improves to 25-9. They are now 8-5 in conference play, and right now in third place in the Sun Belt standings. With the loss, Cajuns fall to 19-15, 4-9 in Sun Belt conference play. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock Central Time, for Game 2 of this Sun Belt series. For all of our wonderful crew tonight, for my partner Brendan Breaux, I'm Dan McDonald, saying so long from Teague Moore Field at Russo Park. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.